Hi everybody. So welcome again to I think it's the fourth lesson of SpanishFreeLessonsOnline.com. So in this video I want to start teaching you conjugation of some verbs. In one of our lessons I told you that in Spanish we have 4 verbs that are perhaps the most important of all. And these correspond to the English verbs to be and to have. Well, now today we will learn how to conjugate in the present tense only the verbs that correspond to the English verb to be. The verb to be in Spanish has the corresponding verbs ser and estar. These are 2 different verbs. So when to be refers to the more permanent state, we would use verb ser in Spanish. S-E-R. Ser. When we refer to verb to be in the transitory state, in Spanish we would refer to the verb estar. Estar. Okay? So what do I mean with permanent state or transitory state? Actually, those are expressions I came up with because I don't know which would be in English the right way to call it. But this is what I mean. You know that when you're using the verb to be, you can refer to something more permanent as I am your teacher. Okay? Or I am Rodrigo, when you refer to somebody's name. Okay? This would be a more permanent state and in Spanish corresponds to verb ser. S-E-R. S-E-R. Ser. Now, when you're using verb to be in its more transitory state, then in Spanish corresponds with verb estar. Transitory state, like for example when we refer to a state, to a feeling or a state of mind. For example, I am happy today. Or let's see, what examples they give you with ser? I said I am Rodrigo and I am your teacher. Okay, yeah, that's something more permanent, yes? So, something more less permanent or transitory. I am happy, right? A state of mind or a feeling that would correspond with verb estar. You can say I am sad, or I am growing, or even when you use verb to be as an auxiliary verb, okay? An action that you are doing, that's also something transitory. That in Spanish also corresponds with verb estar, that will also assume the function of auxiliary verb, same as verb to be in English. So you would say, I am running, okay? In Spanish you would use estar. Yo estoy corriendo. Okay? So keep this in mind and remember that verb to be as when referring to a permanent state is verb ser. Verb to be when referring to its transitory state or function, it's verb estar. Okay? So, in Spanish, verb is verbo. Verbo ser, verbo estar. Okay? Now, let's start to conjugate. Yo soy. That means I am. So, sorry. This first part is conjugation present for verb ser. The lower part of the whiteboard is conjugation of verb estar. Oh, so let's begin with verb ser. Yo soy. Tú eres. Él es. Or ella es. This means I am. You are. He is or she is. Él means he. Ella means she. Nosotros means we. Vosotros or ustedes is you, plural. Ellos means they. Ellos, they. So we have first three persons of the singular and the three persons of the plural. Now look at this. For you, plural, right? You in the plural, in Spanish you have two accepted ways. Vosotros and ustedes. Vosotros is what is used in Spain. Vosotros. Ustedes is what is used in all Latin America. Both ways are accepted, both ways are fine, so you can just try to focus more on what is easier, more comfortable for you. The conjugation for vosotros or ustedes is different. Vosotros has a conjugation of its own. Ustedes conjugates exactly the same as ellos, as they. Okay, that's why I drew these two lines here, because the second and third person of the plural, if you use ustedes, the Latin American way, they conjugate the same. Okay, that's for any verb. So let's see this again. Verb ser, to be, permanent state. Okay. Yo soy. Tú eres. Él, ella es. Él es. Ella es. He is or she is. Nosotros somos. Vosotros sois. Vosotros is you, plural. Vosotros sois. This is what they use in Spain. Vosotros sois. In Latin America, they would use ustedes son, right, for you, plural. Ustedes son. So, vosotros sois and ustedes son. Vosotros sois. Ustedes son. Is exactly the same thing. Both ways are academically correct. Both ways are understood in any Spanish-speaking country in the world. Only that Spain uses this one, Latin America uses this one. Ellos, they. Ellos son. Now let's see the conjugation for verb estar.